Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Feels like it's been a little bit of a minute. It has been a little bit of a minute, actually. We've been, myself and Theo, we've been away separate holidays. Just ahead of the new season about to kick off. Obviously, last week was, if you haven't already, you can check out the preview and the review for those matches against Crystal Palace. But what a game last night. Forget Crystal Palace. What a game last night against West Ham. Graham Potter's West Ham. 5-1. 5 different goal scorers. The black kit. Everything was aligned for us yesterday. Everything. Everything. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Off the back of that Crystal Palace game last weekend to last night's performance, oh, you can see an improvement. We're going to get into all of that. Before we do, as always, please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Like this video. Let us know your thoughts if you're here part of the live stream as well. As always, get involved in the chat. Get involved in all of that stuff. We appreciate it as always. But what a performance yesterday. 5-1. 5-1. 5 different goal scorers. I'm impressed, I'll be honest. I was impressed. Let's start with the lineup and let's talk about the injury that Cole Palmer sustained before the game kicked off. Let's get it on the screen. Because I was gutted. I was gutted when Cole Palmer was injured. I was thinking, well, let's talk about the lineup. Let's do this properly. Sanchez in goal. We're going to talk about Sanchez because I think he caught a second life last night. I think he could have done a lot better. And I think if it's one thing that tells you about our performances and our team so far this season, is that we really, really, really either need to address the what's it called, the goalkeeper situation this summer, or he has to do 110% better in every single game. Because as much as we praise him when he plays well, last night for Sanchez was one of those games that, yeah, we win 5-1 and it looks very easy in the end because it was. But, I mean, look, the goal that they scored, Paquetá's goal, that's basic defending and basic goalkeeping. Calamities at the back for both from Chalobah, Gusto, Estevao'S losing the ball, Sanchez not being able to save it. Everything was wrong for the goal. So Sanchez has to do a lot better. But Gusto, again, very surprised to see him start the game yesterday. I thought he potentially would have been on the bench, maybe come on, give Reece James the nod to start the game. But he comes on, and again, I wasn't highly impressed with Malo Gusto. I was not impressed by Malo Gusto yesterday at all. Big Trev and Tosin, I still think, and I'm going to keep saying this, I still think this is our best partnership. This is why I'm not in this camp of let's go and run out and buy a centre-back, because I think we have enough centre-backs between Josh Ashiempong, who is not obviously a right centre-back, but he can play there. Reece James can play there. Chalobah, Tosin, and Fofana. And Slamino, if he stays. So I think we've got enough cover. I think Chalobah last night, apart from the goal, I do think he could come out for the goal and close down that space. I think he really should have closed down the space for the goal. It was a really, really poor possession to lose in the way that we did. I think Estevao'S tries to do a little cute flick and it just doesn't come off. Then he's slow to track back. But Chalobah, with the experience that he's got, and I think it's Caicedo that's also running alongside him to close down that space. Neither of them do the job of closing it down. And Paquetá just carries on running and shoots. Sanchez should not be getting beaten there at all. That should not be a goal that any goalkeeper should struggle to save from that far out. And we can talk about, I think they were talking after the game or before, when at half time, the sort of traveling the direction of the ball. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. All this sort of, oh well, they're using the ball. That sounds like what Mikel Arteta would say. The flight of the ball is too light and it changes that. These goalkeepers train day in, day out. Day in, day out. With either these footballs, other footballs. It doesn't, to me, the football doesn't even, it doesn't care. I don't care what football they're using. It's a goalkeeper of this caliber, at this level in the Premier League should be able to save that shot. He should be able to save the shot. It wasn't good enough for me personally, but Chalobah, we'll talk about his goal later, but Chalobah and Tosin at the back for me was solid. Absolutely. Bar that goal and maybe one or two other chances that West Ham were able to muster up together, there wasn't really much challenge. Nothing really for Chalobah to worry about. Nothing really for Tosin. And we have to credit Tosin for his passing yesterday, because it was very, very good. Very good. None of this sort of sideways passing. None of this sideward passing rubbish. We were seeing some really good forward-thinking balls. Really good passing from Tosin and Chalobah as well. And Marco Correa, I mean, look, I keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. He has to be in your top 3 left-backs in the world currently as it stands at the moment. Because he's that good. He's absolutely... There's not much I don't think Marco Correa can do wrong. There's not much he can't... I mean, he adds goals now to his game. I think if he could chip in a few more goals, but I don't want him to... Essentially, I want him to be a defender. I want him to provide an assist like he did last night. And what an assist it was as well. But Marco Correa, for me, bearing in mind this was a player that struggled very, very early on in his Chelsea career. A player that some fans, including myself at times, thought he might not fit into this Chelsea squad. And he's come into this team. He's made that left-back role his. There's no talk about Ben Chilwell anymore. Unfortunately, who I think has been handled and treated very badly by the club. But Marco Correa has made that left-back role his. There's not many players that are going to come into that Chelsea team and overtake him in terms of the pecking order, because he's that good. So credit to Correa. I thought he had a really good game last night. Enzo and Caicedo both getting on the score sheet tells you something. A couple of seasons ago, we spoke about this on the channel, how we're lacking in goal scorers. We're relying on one individual to score goals. Now we've got 5 different goal scorers scoring goals, and some of them, out of those there, only 2 of them are theoretically attacking midfielders. You got Moises Caicedo, Enzo in the midfield, and Chalobah. I mean, it's brilliant, superb. Obviously, Cole Palmer's injured before the game kicks off. That was not ideal. And apparently, according to Enzo Maresca, that was something that was a groin injury that was evident in the Crystal Palace game. So you have to ask yourself the question, why was he risked in this game last night? Because all you've probably done, if he's been training through this injury, is made it worse. And to be honest, we've got cover. Estevao'S came in yesterday. We didn't miss Cole Palmer, let's be honest. Gittins is there. Neto can play on the right. João Pedro fitted in perfectly behind Liam DELAP. We've got cover. We've got players that can just come in and the quality doesn't drop as much as it did a couple of seasons ago. So I don't think we needed to risk Cole. If the injury was there, because now we don't know, that according to many reports, I think Simon Johnson's one of them, was saying that there needs to be a scan now done on Cole Palmer. We need to understand how the severity of the injury, whether it's a long-term or a minor injury, we don't really know. We'll know more later this week. But why risk him? Why would you risk Cole Palmer when, yes, he's still an important player, and yes, we've got cover, but if it's one of those things where he might need surgery on it, or he's going to put him out for beyond after the international break, then why risk him? When you've got some really, 2 other London derbies to come up, then you've got the United game after them. Why would you risk him? But let's hope it's not a long-term injury for Cole Palmer. He did look very deflated, I'll be honest. He looked like he'd had the winning lottery ticket and then lost it on the way home. He was just, you can tell how much football means to him. Football is his life, and you can tell he knows that now with Estevao'S, with João Pedro, Neto, Gittins, potentially Garnacho coming in, Xavi Simons. He knows that his role in this club is not nailed down. It isn't a Cucurella situation for Cole Palmer. So he has to be playing football regular. He has to be playing regular football. The World Cup's coming up. So I get the frustrations, I get where he's coming from, but he has to do more as well when he plays. I need to see more from Cole Palmer. I really do. I think last night proved he can be taken out of the team. And I know it was West Ham, so I'm not saying that, you could play this against every single team in the Premier League, but you can see last night that taking Cole Palmer out of that team, we still look like an formidable force. We didn't even look like we were... The goal that they scored, okay, fair enough. But apart from that, we were in control of that game. It was too easy at times. It could have been more than 5, let's be honest as well. But Neto, João Pedro and Estevao all looked solid in that attacking midfield. They actually... And I want to credit Liam DELAP, because I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's another game, no goal. If you watch football properly, not just, watch it and think, oh, he's got, a goal scorer, a striker is meant to score goals, okay, but there's so much, especially in this sort of modern football era that we're in now, there's a lot more ask from a central centre forward than there is in Alan Shearer's days, where he was literally the guy that was scoring the goals. Andy Cole the same. The formations are different. You used to have 4-4-2, so both your strikers were there to score the goals. Now, Liam DELAP's role isn't just to score goals. If you look at some of the link-up play, the hold-up play, the moving defenders away from key areas of the pitch to allow someone like Enzo to drive into the box, when Estevao cuts in and crosses that ball, squares the ball to Enzo, that all starts from Liam DELAP. These are the things that you can very quickly go unnoticed, but he does a lot. He does a lot, and you could see he was frustrated he didn't get a goal. 5-1. You want a goal. You want a goal to add to that. But he done a lot of things off the ball. Like I said, the link-up play, all of those things that you would expect from a striker, things that we credited Nicholas Jackson for. But I think Liam DELAP's time will come. He'll get some moments in front of goal, but he has to take them. But I was really impressed with him yesterday. And like I said, you could tell there was frustration in his face when he came off. He didn't really obviously want to come off. João Pedro, who he knows is probably his main primary competition for the number 9 role. He knows, 2 assists and a goal for him. You're looking at that and you're thinking, oh, it doesn't look good for me. But he done well. He really done well. He done really well. The subs that came on, as we got to see throughout the game, Andre Santos, João Heto, Reece James, Wesley Fofana returned from long-term injury. It's good to see him get some minutes. As I said last week, just let his football do the talking. Let your football do the talking. Jamie Gittins came on as well. Didn't really impact the game as such, but it was good to see that, again, Enzo's using the squad, the timing of the substitutions as well, giving players at least, 20 minutes or so to impact the game somehow. One thing I did want to say, because of course, if you look at our bench, there are key players that potentially aren't on there. We know Christopher Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson, who I think in the press conference before the game, we were told nothing's changed in their transfer situation, that they will potentially still be leaving the club before the window shuts. But the key one for me was Tariq George, who has not picked, if that makes sense. He's always been selected since, I think, January. He's always been selected, whether that's on the bench or as a starter. He's always been part of that squad. And that was telling, because even if you don't use him, Dario Asugo on the bench, but theoretically, you kind of knew he wasn't going to come on, and maybe the same for Josh Ashiempong, but for George not to be on that bench, bit interesting, I'll be honest. I do wonder, is there more to come from that story in the next couple of days or so? Big news as well. Let's talk. We'll get back to the West Ham game in a minute, but big news, because according to many reports, an exclusive interview was done with Spanish media for Marc Cucurella. Now, I think we spoke about this maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago on the channel, that there was a lot of talk about him getting a new contract. There was talk about Al Nazar, whilst they were trying to get the João Felix deal done, trying to nail down Cucurella. It's looking like that contract's now been done. According to what he's saying in Spanish media, it's looking like it's done. It's a done deal. He said, according to, I'm trying to find an article, or at least a tweet, but it looks like Marc Cucurella's contract has been sorted. A new deal has been done. Fabrizio's reporting it, so it can only be good things. It can only be good things for Chelsea fans. If we can get players like this nailed down in the club. It says here, yes, new contract is done. It's true. I'm very happy. The club gave me the confidence and I'm very happy to be here. Hopefully I will have a great year. I'm happy for that. I am, because he's been one of those players for us that he's just outstanding. He's just outstanding. Bit more on it there. Yeah, he's told BBC. I'm guessing that's part of the Spanish media. This was crazy as well. Referee was a bit dodgy yesterday. Let's be honest. You know when you're a good player, I'll be honest, when you're a good player, that's the only way to stop certain players. That's the only way you stop. Good players normally get lumps kicked out of them. That's the only way you stop good players, is when you have to kick lumps out of them, because I don't know what Fulkrug was doing there. And to be honest, I'm so glad that their goal got ruled offside. It was an offside goal anyway. But the celebrations for the goal, I mean, what are you doing? It's one of those times when I thought, VAR, please do your thing, do it correctly, so we can all look at the stupid celebration that he did for his goal that was disallowed, and laugh at him. What are you doing? What are you doing? But the ref was shocking yesterday. I'll be honest, he was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. It just letting things go. I think he only booked João Heto was the only booking in that game last night. But the goals, let's talk about the goals. Let's start with the goals, because obviously the Paquetá one, the Paquetá goal is a goal. It's whatever. We spoke about that. But you see João Pedro's goal. Sensational stuff. Sensational stuff. It was such a very well taken goal. And we have to be honest as well. I'm just looking back at the Sanchez goal here now. Obviously, I can't show this on the screen because the video will get taken down. But he has to save that, Sanchez. He has to save that. I want to talk about the João Pedro goal, because one of the things that I think Marc Cucurella mentioned after the game was that we're working now on set pieces. If you remember back in 2 seasons ago, one of the things we struggled on was creating chances from set pieces and being able to work corners well, actually making use of them. Back in the day, we had the likes of Didier Drogba, we had Michael Ballack, we had Frank Lampard, we had all these brilliant players that were really good within, a really tight space, or they could make something happen from nothing. And I feel like João Pedro is one of those players. I really do. The corner comes in, I think it's Pedro Neto. Cucurella, very smart, very, very smart. Assist the goal eventually. We've got to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because listen, there's one thing that was just French kiss yesterday. A couple of things, but we'll list them. One, Thomas Tuchel in the crowd. I thought that was fitting. Graham Potter. One thing about Graham Potter, I feel he's got the arrogance of Pep or Jose or Antonio Conte, a manager that's won it all. He's won stuff at the top level. His arrogance is up there. This is a man that's got like a degree in like leadership and something else. Like he's got his emotional intelligence or something. He's meant to be one that can hold and deal with his emotions. The press conference before the game, Graham Potter was all over the place. And I said to many Chelsea fans, we're not losing this game. Even at 1-0, I said, don't worry, no problem. I turned my phone off, it's not a problem. I came back at 3-1, everyone was quiet on my phone. We can't lose to Graham Potter. This is a West Ham squad that there's no meat on the bone. It's literally just the basic stuff, the crap that's left that you don't want. There's nothing to this West Ham squad, and we weren't going to lose to them. Defensively, they are poor. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think for 2 of the goals, especially the first one, the Pedro Neto, the João Pedro header, I can't even describe how bad that is. This is a team that's playing 3 centre-backs, 5 at the back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka somehow lets João Pedro be the stronger player out the 2 and score the goal. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but it's poor. It's absolutely poor. One thing as well, I'm just watching these back now, the goals, but one thing as well with the goal that was disallowed, the Fulcrum goal, our defensive line was spot on. And one thing I've always said, and I've been really, really critical about, is, and it's normally Levi Colwell, to be fair, but our defensive, when we try and play the offside, it's never worked. We always play someone's always playing someone on side. And last night, first time before VAR's intervened and the goal was even scored out, I said offside, because I could tell it was offside straight away. We were defensively set up well. Maybe that's because there's a good connection and understanding between Cucurella, Tosin and Chalobah. Everything worked. Everything worked defensively for us as well. I do think, even though, what I will say, Sanchez again, thankfully the goal's ruled offside, but Sanchez has to do better. Because if that's not ruled offside, he's trying to save the ball with his feet. He's all over the shop. I think Caicedo gets deflection. Fulcrum gets the ball, shoots, it's a goal, but Sanchez is never set up to even try and save that. He's got to do more. He's got to do more. Thankfully, the goal's ruled offside. I still don't understand what that celebration was about. And I don't know why VAR took so long with that. I mean, the fact you got a linesman that's literally there, he's in line with the run of play, and Michael Oliver still taking time to look at it, but it's just mental. Yeah, there you go again. I mean, that is just bad football from West Ham. Bad football from West Ham for the 3rd goal. They lose possession of the ball. The foul against us, really, I think they tried to look for a foul. I think it was Paquetá looking for a foul on Chalobah. Chalobah's fouled. Pedro whips the ball in. Pedro Neto. João Pedro whips the ball in. And Pedro Neto, again, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is in no man's land. You're the wrong side of your player. It's poor from West Ham. Goalkeeper's had a mare as well. Pedro Neto deserves his goal. Paquetá just dwelling on the ball in the box. Oh, and to be honest as well, that goal from Pedro Neto is not easy to take. If you get a chance, watch it back. It's not easy to take that goal, because the ball's coming at you with speed, and to cushion the ball down the way that he does, and to be able to place it into the back of the net the way that he does as well, it's not an easy goal to score at all. I'm not sure how Paquetá was looking for a foul here. It's just an accidental collision or accidental foot in the face by Chalobah. But this is the goal. This 4th goal was sensational. This is why I think Cole Palmer is going to be an amazing footballer for us. We know that. We've seen it already. But Estevao'S, different level. And I'm saying that from now as well. I'm going to say from now, Estevao'S is going to be a top, maybe not at Chelsea, but he will go on to be one of the greatest footballers. At 18, some of the things I'm watching this kid do, and some will just say it's basic stuff, but to take on that assist that he did yesterday in that game, at 18, the pace, the driving into the box, getting there first, knowing where Enzo Fernandez is going to be in the box. And this is what I was saying, Liam DELAP'S flick onto him is so crucial. That's what, as a number 9, I want to see. I want to see my number 9s linking up the play. Not always being in a box. That's one of the things that people rave about or used to rave about Harry Kane was those sort of things as well. Liam DELAP is that sort of mold for me, that sort of player that can not always be the main guy. We look like we've got scorers in this team now from front to back, which is good. But the goal, the electrifying pace from Estevao'S, oh man. Man of the match performance. He deserved his man of the match. These next two goals are just Chucker brothers. Goalkeeper Howler, Caicedo. I mean, the goalkeeper's had a shocker here. The fact he's been relegated with Leicester, he's now at West Ham. I mean, has there ever been a goalkeeper relegated with two teams back to back? Very good goal by Caicedo. And that was it. I mean, but the rest, I mean, even this goal here now, I mean, Chalobah I'm so happy he scored. I'm so happy Chalobah scores, but it was too easy defensively. Right in front of the Chelsea fans as well. It was just too easy. No threat from West Ham. No nothing. No attempts to try and stop us from scoring. Just nothing. Just literally nothing. No nothing. And that's the thing. That's what you get when you appoint Graham Potter. 3 points in the bag. Maresca looked happy. Players looked happy. Fans went home happy. It's 3 points. It's 3 points. That's all we can hope for. That's all we can ask for. I generally think this season we have to make sure that we continue to play in this way. Attacking football, deadly in front of goal, goals from all angles of the pitch, dominate possession of the ball. Like last night, we must have had, we had 59% possession of the ball. 7 shots on target. Like these things were unheard of a couple of seasons ago. We weren't even creating chances in some games. We'd create 1 chance in the whole game. 7 big chances. 2 big chances missed. We were amazing yesterday. Absolutely amazing. But this is going to be the star. I'm telling you from now, this guy is going to go far. He's going to go far. For a player that I don't think mentally would have been prepared to just walk into that game 10 minutes before kickoff and play the position that he did in that game, play that role, be very key. Only his second game for us competitively. You can see exactly what we've got. And you can see why there's a big buzz around him. You can see why there's a big buzz around him because he's that good. He is that good. And if I was Cole Palmer, I generally would be worried about my season coming up, because if I'm not in that team, I generally think that is a very good that is a very good attacking lineup. That lineup is very good, and that's without Cole Palmer. You take out Gusto for Reece James. Obviously, you'd love a Donnarumma in there, but at the moment it's Sanchez. But that's a very strong lineup. That's without Romeo Lavia. That's without Levi Colwell. No Tariq George in there. No Achiempong. Sugo. Who else have I missed out? Hato. Santos isn't even in there yet. Remember, this is Santos. I had one of the best seasons in Ligue 1 last season, and he's on the bench. Tells you how good the midfield is at Chelsea at the moment. So I can't wait to see more of Estevao'S Willian, because he is an absolute talent. An absolute talent to have in the team. We've got Fulham next Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Let's hope we do better than Man City are at the moment. Then we got an 8 o'clock kickoff, Brentford. That's after the international break. I never understand why they do international breaks so start. I mean, we're literally 3 games into the season at that point. Then we've got the big game, Man United, 5:30. So, look, we've got 2 big London derbies coming up. Then we've got for me, West Ham was never going to be a test. We should have won. Let's be honest, we should have won last Sunday against Crystal Palace. We were just poor. We looked laggy. Yesterday, we proved to Graham Potter that this is a team that you have to take serious. I don't think he'll even be there in November, Graham Potter. I think he'll be gone. if West Ham owners have got anything about them, they'll get rid of him quick. But Fulham, I think that should be an easy game. Brentford, I mean, I'm going to be watching them shortly at 3 o'clock. See how they get on, do a bit of scouting for that game. Fulham, I think we should beat them. United, for me, is the big test. That is the game where I'm thinking that's when our season starts. Brighton will be difficult. Liverpool will be difficult. Forest look like they're up in arms with the owner and the manager. We should beat Sunderland. You never know, though. You never know. But no, I think. Look, I'm impressed with the squad. The squad looks very good, very good, very good. And I think if we can continue to play in the way that we're playing, there's nothing to stop us from winning this league. I'll say it quietly for now, but as the season's going on, I'm going to be shouting it from the rooftops. But I think we should be seriously considering trying to push for the Premier League this season. I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't. We should generally be playing for the league. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. It's mental to think that Chelsea Football Club should not be pushing for the Premier League. A little bit more here on Cole Palmer. Cole was not 100% in the last few days. He tried in the warm-up to play, but he was not right. We will see how bad it is. He was already not 100% against Palace, but he tried to make an effort for the club. I just think, why risk him? Why would you risk him? I don't get that. But, look, like I keep saying, here we go. Look at that. João Pedro's stats. Yeah, first goal and his first assist in the Premier League for Chelsea. 2 assists as well. Quality player. And everyone was doubting him as well. A lot of other fans were doubting, can he do it at Chelsea? Why are we paying so much for him? Well, at the moment, he's given us money's worth already. He's already paid his fee for the Club World Cup, the win there. So, I mean, we're already definitely getting our money's worth from him. Here we go. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I mean. Look at this one. Estevao'S is the youngest ever player to assist a goal for Chelsea in the Premier League's history. 18 years and 120 days old. And James Ward-Prowse is struggling. Look at that. He's struggling to even keep up with him. I'm telling you from now, the kid is going far. He's going absolutely far. Because he's that good. He's too good to be on the bench. We shouldn't even be thinking about having him on the bench for Fulham or for Brentford. He has to start. And if Cole Palmer's not fully fit, then Cole Palmer's not fully fit. It's just one of those things. He has to start the next game. He's too good. There's all this talk about Estevao'S. Can he cope with the Premier League, the physicalities of the Premier League? 1,000,000% he can. 1,000,000% he can, because we're getting to see it. We got to see it against Crystal Palace. He was stuck in. As soon as he came on, he's tackling, he's fighting. He's fighting for the ball back. I think he even got booked in that game for a challenge that was a late tackle. So he can hold his own in the Premier League. That's not an issue now. He can take players on. He can take on defenders. He can score. He knows he's not scared to take a shot on. If you think back to the Palace game, I think he should have laid the ball off to Neto and he took the shot with his left foot. Didn't work out. It went over the bar, but at least he's attempting to score goals. Listen, Estevao'S is the future of our football club. And we have to get behind him. And if that's at the detriment of another player that we hope to see come through the ranks, there's certain players, certain gems, certain players you just have to hold on to. And it doesn't matter what you do, you build your team around him. Because he can go as far as some of the top players at any football club, not just Chelsea, but I'm talking world football. I'm talking world football. And we have to credit the owners, because we were talking 2 years ago, and I'm not saying they got every deal right, because they got a lot of deals wrong, but the few gems that they're slowly giving us, Estevao'S being one of them, Santos looks like another one. They're giving us these little gems that we thought, why are they buying all these kids? Why are they buying all these kids? This is why, because not all of them are going to work. But let's be honest, some of the fees that they're paying probably are worth the risk. Quenda could be another one. He's a very good talent. So they're buying these players in, and we're questioning the owners, we're questioning sporting directors. Let's credit them when credit is due, because Estevao'S looks the part. He looks like the guy. He looks like he's going to do amazing stuff for us this season, next season, and hopefully for the next 10, 15 seasons. He looks like the guy that you got to build your team around, because he's solid. He's absolutely solid in front of goal. And he can get back as well. He can track back. I didn't even mention that. He can track back. He's solid. He's absolutely solid. But listen, we got 3 points. Let's quickly check the City score. They were losing 2-0 while I was setting up. They're still losing 2-0 as I'm about to end the stream. It's been a lovely start to the weekend, hasn't it, guys? It's been an amazing start. We're currently second. Obviously, there's a lot of other teams to play. Literally every other team to play. So the good thing about this is already, goal difference +5. Of course, early into the season, it doesn't really make any difference. But to see where we are already in the season, and just to think if we only got that one goal against Palace, or the 3 points against Palace, how different the table could potentially look, come the end of the weekend, or, into that big game at on Monday, Newcastle, Liverpool. But we have to be confident this season as fans, because I generally think we can go far this season. I think we can go far. I really do. Massive weekend coming up. Obviously, let's hope Leeds, as much as we hate them and we hate Arsenal, it's the biggest hate watch we'll be watching later on, 5:30. Let's hope for a draw there. We want some draws this weekend, don't we? We want a couple of draws. Let's hope Everton do us a favour. Fulham could do us a little favour. Crystal Palace Forest is going to be an interesting game. And then you've got Newcastle, Liverpool on Monday. Let's hope Newcastle do us a favour. Because I think Liverpool, if we're going to talk about us trying to win the Premier League, we know that Liverpool is probably going to be the biggest competition this season. I think City will be, but for them to be dropping points against Spurs, I know it's Thomas Frank, but dropping points against Spurs this early into the season, it's not good. So let's hope Liverpool lose on Monday. And I think we generally have to be serious about this. Come December, obviously January, December, if we're still there in the mix, I agree, City are in trouble, big trouble. If we're there January in the mix, we keep all our players, and this is me talking without the transfer window being shut. I still think there's 1 or 2 key players to come in. We still have about 8 players to try and get out the door as well. Sterling's and Disazzi's and Badia Shields and all the rest of these other players. Ben Chilwell, unfortunately, as well. If we don't bring any other players in, but we're still where we are, and in January, maybe we assess it and we bring in more players. We got to push for the league. We've got to push for the league. We've got to push for the league. Because we've got no excuses now. Our midfield is there. Our attacking options are there. Even with or without Nicholas Jackson, we have options in the striker area. We've got cover for Cucurella. We've got cover for Reece James. I personally think we've got enough cover at centre-back. Even if we do bring in another centre-back, I still think we've got the cover that we got now. I don't think we need to bring anyone else in. Maresca is talking good stuff as well. I like how he's talking in the press conferences after the game, before the games. I think he came out before the season and he said, I've learned a lot from certain things he said last season, that we weren't in a title race and all the rest of it. Even last night, before the game and after the game, you could tell there's a different approach to how he's talking to the media. And I like it as well. The Blue Lounge is saying that we don't need favours, my brother. We get this on our own. I have faith in our team. I do as well. No, I do. But of course, if other teams drop points, it just makes it a little bit... First of all, it makes it sweeter for us, smashing West Ham the way that we did. But I agree. I don't think we need the favours, but it does help. It helps. It helps us. But no, I generally think, and I know I keep saying it, maybe I'm trying to talk it into his existence and make sure that I believe in myself, but I generally think we can win this Premier League. I really do. I don't think there's much else we need, bar the goalkeeper. If we had Donnarumma, who I don't think is the best with his distribution, but he's definitely going to be saving that Paquetá flipping goal yesterday. If we had him, listen, I'll be putting everything down that I own. I'll be walking straight to the bookies, the nearest one, and I'll be putting everything on it because I'm that confident we're going to win the Premier League. I'm that confident. So we have to see. But I'm going to get ready to watch Brentford. Make sure you lot subscribe to the channel. Leave your thoughts in the comments. How good were we yesterday? Smashing West Ham, smashing Graham Potter to bits. Unfortunate for the guy, but I just don't think he's cut out for this Premier League management stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments. Of course, we'll be back next week with more content, so make sure you tune in and enjoy your, I was going to say enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the long weekend, bank holiday weekend. Enjoy that if you're in the UK. We'll be back soon.